The day I left my six-figure engineering career felt like the worst day of my life. Years of school, years of hard work, years of trying to make good impressions, years of building towards that exact job. And I walked away from all of it. From the outside, it looked like a failure. From the inside, it felt like a failure. And for a long time, I let that feeling be the truth. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his journals, now the book Meditations, if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. And this you have the power to revoke at any moment. It took me years of therapy to realize that last piece. You have the power to revoke your estimate of your circumstances at any moment. The circumstances weren't the problem. My interpretation of the circumstances was the problem. That distinction, once I was finally able to realize it after years of therapy, changed everything for me. It didn't happen overnight. It was slow, it was hard fought, and most of it happened in my therapist's office. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, is built almost entirely on the principle that an event itself is neutral. What creates your emotional response is the story that you attach to it. If you change the story, if you change the lens that you look at your life circumstances through, you can change the experience itself. Therapists have been teaching this concept since the 1950s, but Aurelius wrote about it almost 2,000 years ago. So once I changed my estimate of my circumstances, here's the reframe. I grew up watching my dad go to work miserable every single day. That left a mark on me, deep enough that in my 20s I started saving 50% of my income without fully understanding why. In hindsight, something in me knew that the traditional path wasn't right for me. I was preparing for a different one. So when I finally left, when the job that was slowly destroying me became impossible to stay in, even a day longer, it turns out I had been getting ready for that moment for years, and I just couldn't see it from inside the pain. I wasn't failing the path. I was just on the wrong path, and I had known it my whole life. What looked like the worst chapter in my story was actually just a chapter I had been preparing for all along. So here's what I hope you can take home today. What narrative are you choosing about your circumstances? Because there's almost always a different one available. I'm not talking about some delusional story pumped up on toxic positivity, just an honest reframe that asks, what if this isn't what it looks like? What if this is just preparation disguised as struggle? You have the power to change your estimate of your circumstances at any moment. That's not Stoic philosophy, that's your life. You get to choose what it means. If this hit home for you, I'd love to hear your story in the comments. And if you know anyone who's carrying a narrative that isn't serving them, send this to them. Thank you.